Hi, welcome to the Focus for Growth Leadership Success series videos. Today I'm going to continue on from our discussion around motivation. And in the last video we talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, how those needs are impacted by the behavior and the attitude of the leader, and how each one is incremental and is built upon the other. And so today we're going to talk about what happens when someone gets to the top of Maslow's hierarchy. You've become connected, you feel safe and secure in the environment, you've got a type Y leader, and you're interested in your personal growth. What happens to that person, and how can the leader help to contribute towards that person's success and greater contribution to the organization? There's a great author, a guy called Dan Pink, and he wrote a book called Drive. And in that book, Drive, Dan Pink takes apart all of the evidence that shows and demonstrates how human beings are motivated. And once you get to the top of kind of levels 4 and 5 of Maslow's hierarchy, people start to look for a different type of motivation. And Dan Pink calls it the intrinsic motivation. So how do I internally find motivation and drive? Now, the leader can really help employees to find that inner drive by understanding the model. There are 3 components to that intrinsic motivation, and Dan Pink lays them out. There are 3: mastery, autonomy, and purpose. So in a way, it's a map of anybody's intrinsic motivation. Your own as a leader, your teams as you lead those teams. So the 3, I'll go through them. First, it's mastery. What does mastery mean? It means becoming the best at what you do. It means setting a goal to continually grow, develop, and become a leader in your field, whatever that field is. And as a leader of your teams, you can really help them to connect with what does that growth look like? What does best in class look like for that person and for you as a leader? The second then is autonomy. So once I am on this journey towards mastery, I want to be set clear direction, but then I want some independence. I want to be able to carve my own path to mastery, to my role, to contribution generally. I need that independence so that I can prove to myself and the world that actually I'm capable of doing the best work possible. And then the final piece is purpose. So purpose, and Simon Sinek calls purpose the power of why. Why do I do what I do? And generally speaking, that will be a purpose that is higher than that individual. So it will be an impact they're making either to colleagues or peers, to clients or customers, or in some instances, depending on the work, to the world at large. And the three of those components together really help to drive intrinsic motivation in anybody. Now, really interesting, in the book Drive, Dan Pink goes on to say the reverse is true. So once you start to put in place extrinsic rewards and motivation, so bonuses, targets, reward schemes, external recognition for things, outside of just being told you're doing a good job and having a review with your leader who helps you to recognize good contribution, the extrinsic factors, believe it or not, actually deteriorate somebody's intrinsic motivation. Because once they become dependent on external factors, they no longer have that internal drive. So as a leader, recognizing that your role in helping your teams to understand that this is more important than any external incentives. People need to be paid well, they need to enjoy their work, all of the things we talked about in Maslow's hierarchy. But once you get to high performance, this is what drives high performance and not external extrinsic rewards. And think about a time when you were a leader, or think about a time when you were in a role and you were absolutely on fire, when you really enjoyed it, you loved your work, you were performing at your greatest level. 2 or 3 of these key intrinsic motivators will have been in place. And so as you recognize that in yourself and your teams, the question to ask yourself is, where you are today as a leader and the team that you are leading, for yourself and your team, which of these three do you need to focus attention on? And what impact might that have on yourself and your teams and your ability to re-engage and really drive high performance? I'd love to hear that in the comments. So the one thing, the one area out of these three that you need to focus on, either for yourself or for your teams, I'd love to get involved in a dialogue on that. So if you get the chance, place it in the comments below the video. Thanks again, as always, for the support for the videos. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I look forward to continuing our Leadership Success series from Focus for Growth.